Welcome to this brand new series all about growing up, because I'm not gonna lie, time is going so quickly and life seems to be happening right before my eyes. Like, a few of my friends are, having the prospect of a baby come about, getting mortgages, moving out of London already, and I'm like, life is happening so quickly right now around me. So I wanted to start this brand new weekly series where we can come here every week and talk through all of the kind of possibilities of life, because I think when you're in your 20s, there's so many options, and for me, there's so much stuff that I haven't done that I want to do, but then you also have to think about like work and career and so much stuff to think about. And I imagine that a lot of you guys watching this are going to be having similar thoughts to me. Again, you might be in a grad job, you might be on different paths, but fundamentally, everybody in their 20s, from what I've seen in recent times, goes through very similar stuff. So I thought, why not just relax, kick back, and have a little talk about it, really. So if you do enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe down below, of course, and comment anything you're thinking of or you want to talk about, especially if you're in your 20s. And if you got any advice, send me some advice. I feel like when everyone said like school was the glory days, uni was the glory days, I was like, yeah, whatever, man. But I realized that it's such like a flatline cycle. And then as soon as you come out of uni and school, it's like, oh, bosh. University, glory days, everybody's got to go uni. Anyway, I digress, right? So today we're going to talk about the crazy rent prices in London, especially for people our age trying to get a place in Central. My pay got cut by 60%. Again, a risk as a content creator full-time that I take is, stuff's out of my control. A lot of people in grad jobs have that control and stuff like that, but 60%, man. And obviously now I'm low-key in a bit of a financial difficulty, but that's life, eh? Peaks and troughs, as we said. That's life as a young adult. And then again, we're going to talk about traveling, because it's always such a dilemma, like career or travel. I'm a Celeb's out. Matt Hancock is getting so much screen time. That shows, I can't believe how loose it is that Matt Hancock went on that show. And then finally going to take a look at my acting career, because I know some of you guys are interested in that. So welcome to episode 1, but the title's going to be like 23 and 45 weeks old, because that's how old I currently am. Obviously, first year outside of education, this is coming towards the end of it. Rent prices in London, right? So what the heck is happening, man? Like, it's honestly so expensive to live in London right now, that to the point where me and my housemate were saying, like, even if I was balling out right now, I was earning 20k a month, would I really want to spend 3k on rent for a nice place? And the answer is not really. So we pay about $860 a month right now. We get these cool facilities and whatnot, but I guarantee since we moved in about six months ago, the market's gone up even more, to the point where this place will probably be a K or 1.1k. And it's like, how are they going to expect, especially graduates and people fresh out of uni, live and have a good life and go out to the pub when you're paying £8 a pint and then hundreds on rent every month? It's kind of a bit of a struggle at the moment. So with rent in London being so expensive, it's like, well, where do you live? Because if you want to live in Clapham or the popping areas, and let's say the price you pay is ridiculous for what you get. So London is becoming so expensive to live, and I don't think it's going to be long before people kind of shun it, because it's stupid money. It's crazy. And again, it's the sort of thing where London is fantastic to live in. It's a great place to live in. But a lot of the stuff, if you're going to live in London, right, you've got to pay a lot for rent. And then you've got to pay an extreme amount for food and drinks and just to have a good time as well. So there's obviously some great free things that you can do in London, but there's a lot of stuff that requires money. So you can often find yourself spending all your money on rent and then working all day, having no money to go and do these cool things in central London. And then, it can be a bit of a paradox. And it seems like rent's only going to get more expensive, especially with maybe interest rates rising, people sacking off their mortgages and choosing to rent instead. So for us, it's going to be very interesting seeing what renting in London is going to be like very soon. And like, where even is the best place to live in London, right? Everyone says Clapham, but when the places are popular, it comes at a big opportunity cost, because you're spending a lot of money, which means you can't go out. So let me know what you guys think on the whole renting situation in London. Like, are you guys going to continue to live in London? Are you going to try and move here after uni, or are you going to find somewhere else? So next up, financial difficulty. That's me right now. I'm in a bit of financial hot water, as they say, because I make my money from acting when I get a job, but mostly content creation in the form of YouTube videos, brand deals, and then creating online courses, right? So one day I'm chilling, I'm like, cool, life's good, whatever, I've got enough money to sustain myself, live in London. I'm not balling out. Essentially, I wake up one day and Skillshare, where I make a lot of my courses, and I get paid for how many minutes watching my courses there are. They're like, we're changing our payment model. Cool. I'm like, crisis. They're probably going to pay me less. There was no real warning about what was happening. But to cut a long story short, they kind of just cut my pay by 60%, right? So if I was earning a K a month from Skillshare, I'm now earning like 400 max, which basically means that to have a pay cut of 600 quid in 1 month, as you would imagine, it's a bit of a struggle. So if you want to be a full-time content creator, you have a lot of freedom, you have a lot of perks, a lot of time, but then the downside is that you take on risks like that. And again, people often ask me like, what's it like being a full-time content creator? That's sick. That's my dream job. But there are some sort of amazing things about it, but some sort of cons as well. Like, you know, it can be quite lonely. Sometimes you've got too much free time. Sometimes you get pay cuts. Sometimes brand deals don't come in. There is something nice, and I always like it about having a grad job, seeing people, having a routine and earning decent money. Like, you know, I sacrificed economics and finance degree. Man, I could have been in finance right now, earning the big bucks, stressing about interest rates and CPI, but here I am. Yeah, pay cuts, expensive, TFL's a bump as well. And next up, like a byproduct of being in a bit of financial difficulty is that when you're renting, right, you don't really go traveling because you're paying so much money on rent. But I often sit back and objectively look at life and feel like there is so many cool things to do outside of the UK. Again, the UK is amazing, but like, I don't know, ski season, work away, traveling, there's so much stuff to experience. And I sit, and it's a dilemma that, I mean, you know, we had it in the comments last week where people were telling me that, yeah, I feel the same as you. I feel a tiny bit lost with life, and it's like I want to go traveling, but I want to have a career. To go traveling, you need money, but then if you get in a career, you don't want to leave it to go traveling because you're trying to work your way up to make more money. But then before you know it, life can just flash before your eyes, you know? So going traveling or having a full-on career, how on earth do you find the right balance with that? You know, if you take a look at the pros and cons, the pros for staying are pretty clear. You have a consistent career, you make probably some very nice money. As they say, you're a cog in the machine, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I feel like one thing I've realized since I left uni is that I was always adamant, I don't want to be a cog in a machine. But I actually realized, and there's always that stigma about it, but there's actually quite a lot of good things inside of it. Now, I don't think it is for me just yet, but when I think about the pros of, you know, having a full-time job, as I talked about earlier, there's quite a lot of nice things about it. And although at the time it seems like a bit of a drag, it's not too bad. I think there's a lot of pros to it. But again, traveling, I love traveling, man. I love traveling, and I can't do both right now because renting, I'm not gonna go traveling and spend the only pennies and savings I have while I'm renting a place in Central. You know what I mean? For me, over the next year, it's gonna be crunch time when I take a look at what do I actually want to achieve with my life, especially while I'm young. What experiences do I want to have? I've got about 7 or 8 different variables in my life, and right now I feel like they're not fully optimized. Like I need to change some of these variables and achieve different levels in these variables, which are, you know, like renting, traveling, acting, money, day-to-day meeting people. You know, I need to change how stuff is going to a large extent because, you know, it's good, but it definitely could be better, and it's definitely a dilemma that we all have. Like, what variables in our lives can we change right now at this age to achieve what we want to achieve? Do we value money over experiences or experiences over a career? Like, and again, it kind of leads on to like feeling lost in life. Like, I know some people have said like, have I made the right career decision? Do I really want to be doing this for the rest of my life? When I'm young, I want to do some other stuff, and do I feel trapped in my career? And again, I'm not really involved in that sector because, as you guys know, like, I haven't gone down the route of a grad job. I'm just kind of freelance content creator trying to be an actor, which we'll talk about in a second. And it's all valid stuff. Like, I feel like whenever we have those sort of thoughts about what do I want to do, there's so much stuff like, and I feel like sometimes it can feel like you're the only person with this dilemma, and it can be quite overwhelming. But one thing I realize is that everybody has these sort of dilemmas, and the grass is often greener on the other side. But, you know, I think sometimes feeling lost at this age is probably fairly normal. Like, wow, we got more choice to do stuff than ever before. You know, work from home, work for yourself, work online, travel abroad easily. But I do find amongst all this discovering life that physical exercise, seeing people, it always helps clear my mind and get back on track and feel like focused again. You know, because I feel like it's easy to, not to be distracted, but to lose sight of stuff when you're this age because you're just overwhelmed, you know. So finally, let's talk about some acting. So you guys are interested in my acting career. To be quite frank, there's not too many updates on that matter. Still plugging away, still trying. You know, it's a tough industry. It's going to take a lot of time. You know, I had one good audition. I did well. They like me. Fingers crossed it comes off, but you never quite know. But it's been fairly bare in the last few years. Now, the tough thing about acting is that everything's always a constant interview or audition. And it could be like, you're talented, you're great, but we want somebody that looks like this or somebody who's got a name in this sector. You know, it's tough. And I've had a lot of encouraging feedback of late, so I can't complain in terms of people being nice to me and stuff. Like, I need to alter some of the variables around so that I feel like I'm maximizing life and potential while still trying to be an actor. Because, you know, if I was working every day or working a week every 2 weeks, it'd be fine. But it's just it's dry right now. You know, it's hard, it's dry. But we'll keep plugging away. And yeah, I'm a Celeb. What a random thing. Like, I keep thinking, and it baffles me, right? So I've been enjoying I'm a Celeb. Whoever recruited Matt Hancock into the jungle must be earning a fat bonus this year, man. Like, the amount of clicks this guy is generating, the amount of views. Oh my days. Like, it's gold dust for I'm a Celeb. And you know what? Yeah, it's one of them shows that when I was younger, Comfort TV, I was like, what? I don't want to watch like the same stuff every year. Like, I don't want to watch this, I don't want to watch that. But Comfort TV, I had The Office when I was going through my third year exams. Comfort TV is actually really nice. So for example, like every day it's on. Every day you see the people in the villa, they're doing challenges. It's just nice seeing the same thing every day. And I feel like when you're working and when you're like embracing life and navigating your way through life, those sort of random comforts are actually very, very valuable. So yeah, this has pretty much been episode 1 of 23, week 45. Next week we got 23, week 46. Hopefully get some guests on and stuff like that. And I've got a great Cambridge video coming out soon. And if you made it this far, basically, right, I've joined up with YouTube and you can join my channel, support me, get some exclusive emojis and banners. And if you want to level up a tier, get a members only Q&A where you can ask me anything and I'll answer it. And if you want to level up another tier, basically, obviously, this is like the super fans. You guys can book a one-on-one consultation with me because I can offer you some university chit-chat, some YouTube advice, some editing advice, you know. So if you feel like joining, please do. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed today's video of me rambling on about life. And let me know what you guys have to say. Thank you very much. Take care.